All right, guys, what's going on? It's Crypto Man, and I am on a new computer. So, what that means is that, like I spoke about in my introductory video to BitcoinPoW Fuel, I am not risking installing this software on a computer that has sensitive information. I am not installing this software on a computer that I store the majority of my coins on. I am not installing this software on a computer that hosts my mining wallets with all my precious transactions. I'm not signing up for any of that. So what I did is I got a decent $300 or $400 computer and I'm ready to go. So that's all there is to it. If you can, try not to use the same Windows ID. Try to make a new Windows ID so that the cloud doesn't transfer some of your files. Now, I made that mistake. But I'm not really like so worried about whatever's in the cloud. I'm more worried about what's in my personal like physical storage on the drives. So that's all, it's that's all I'm gonna say. I really like the guy that made this, but again, it's not open source at the moment. You have to take it on trust. You might want to get to know the guy or just take my word on the fact that I like him a lot. I think he's got a great personality, a great outlook. I've spoken with him for several hours at a time, not through voice calls, but through text messaging on Telegram. So Fuller Slab is his GitHub ID, but his Telegram username is Sullivan. He also made the BitcoinPoW bot on Telegram, which allows you to analyze the network, tap into a faucet for transactions, see which blocks were mined by which addresses. You can tell the difference between a whale block and a community block, which is often much larger. You'll learn that over time if you're in this project. At the same time, he's got some profitability calculations to give you an idea of how long it may take to recoup your transactions in the form of BitcoinPoW through the profitability calculator. All these kind of things come into play and give you some insight about the project. So I really like what he's done. Really excited to talk to you about BitcoinPoW Fuel. And here is the how to mine section. Now, it's one of his newest releases. We're going to get into it in a moment. What we're going to do first, we're on Windows, guys. So we're going to go here. We're going to releases on the bottom. Look, you're going to go to this site. I'm going to put it sorry, I'm going to put it in the let's see. I'm going to put it in the description all these links. So here is the BitcoinPoW Fuel. Here is the how to mine tutorial. It's for Windows. There's probably other versions out there. Here is the .NET. So that's important software that allows BitcoinPoW Fuel to be enabled. It's completely open source, if I'm not mistaken. It's very well established, reputable. I don't know if it's through Microsoft or just compatible with Microsoft, but I've heard from good sources that it's a very very widely adopted piece of software. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. So we're going to look this over momentarily. Oh, I got to turn my sound notifications off or close this out. Sorry about that. I don't know if you heard the Telegram alert, but it was pretty loud. Anyway, that's because I'm on a new computer. I don't have all those settings configured and stuff yet. Okay, there it was again. So I'm going to have to change that. I'll be right back. Give me one moment. All right, guys, I'm back. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to BitcoinPoW Fuel. We're going to look under releases if we can find it. Maybe this is it. Fuller Slab / BitcoinPoW Fuel. The guide is the first thing that you see. I'm not the best at navigating GitHub, to be honest. So we're just going to go to releases. Here's version 3.12.8, Linux and Windows compatible. I'm going to try to get this on a Linux computer. I don't know if I can get the app Zoom on Linux, but if I can, and I can screen record, I will make a tutorial for Linux users as well as needed. We're doing Windows for now, so I'm going to download BitcoinPoW Fuel, Windows 64. We are going to show the file location. See, I installed this earlier, but I think that I was, I didn't complete the process, or this could have been from a flash drive. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this actually, in case it's on the computer already. There we go. And we're going to do it from scratch. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to extract all. You're going to browse where to put it. I like it in the downloads folder. I don't know why, I just do. So we're gonna select that folder and extract it. So there it is. And this is everything. So we are gonna go back. Hold on a sec. I actually like I like all of this being in one folder. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna copy. We're gonna make a new folder. We're gonna paste. We're gonna put everything in there. There we go. Okay, here we are. You know what? I'm gonna compare with what else I did. I'm probably gonna take pauses so that I can kind of break this down because I'm not super familiar with the process of installing and running BitcoinPoW Fuel. I did it once under Sullivan's guidance. He made an exception to give me the time of day because I, said I was going to make a tutorial eventually. So that's what I'm here to do. But anyway, I'm going to get to that. I'll be right back. I'm going to see what else we got to do. So I'm probably going to go through the guide as well. You know what? Let's see about that. Hold on. I'm going to check out the guide. So prerequisites, BitcoinPoW, daemon, CLE, QT. Okay, so we're gonna get the prerequisites first. So let's do that. When you go to download net 8.0, you're gonna look for Windows x64. Boom, got it. It's installing, right? So now we're gonna go back. It's already installing, so that's fine. We're gonna go to BitcoinPoW. You should have the wallet already, honestly, but if not, is what it is. Look at all these devs. We got to do a video on the new update because this is major, guys. I'm gonna install the new update version, and we'll talk about it more in the future. But this is a very extensive list. A lot of these guys have been known to work on, I guess we'll say, some bigger projects. You can probably look them up on GitHub and get an idea of who they are, what they do. That's a good amount of free research opportunity right there for those that are motivated. It would be very wise to look into some of those developers. So we're gonna go under assets. We are gonna look for BitcoinPoW daemon.exe. We're gonna need that. That's the daemon. It's gonna say it's not commonly downloaded. We say to keep. We show more, we keep anyway. Because guess what? We love Fluffy, and he's got a solid product. We already know. We've had it scanned. It's open source. Microsoft doesn't recognize it because it has under 1 million downloads or something like that. But we know what it is. I had it reviewed by a developer, and he scanned it through and through. It's definitely safe. Not this newer version, to be clear. But at the same time, we basically scanned a previous version of the wallet. We know the guy's got honest intentions, at least on a coding side of things. That's that much we do know. So, with that said, let's proceed. So, BitcoinPoW QT.exe. This is the Windows wallet. So we're gonna click that. Now it's gonna download. It's probably gonna give a similar warning. There we go. We're gonna keep it. Guess what? We're gonna keep it anyway. Now all this stuff is gonna be in the downloads folder, right? So we're gonna install .NET when it shows up in the downloads folder, right? It's gonna take a moment to load. Oh, looks like it was installed already. No, this is the installer. Repair. Oh, because okay. We're gonna click yes. We're repairing because I already downloaded it before. When you click this normally, it's probably gonna prompt you to install instead. So we're just gonna let this run. It's gonna take a few moments, but when it finishes, it just finishes. It'll just give you, it'll just tell you it's done. You don't have to run it or anything. Once it's on your system, it just kind of helps optimize the function of the system and will enable BitcoinPoW Fuel to run. Again, it's a very well vetted app, open source, most likely, well known, mass adopted, so nothing to worry about there. Here's the POW daemon. We're gonna put that. I don't know. We're gonna put these somewhere. I'm gonna put this where we typically put it. So we're gonna cut. We're gonna go to this PC, Windows SSD C. We're gonna make a folder, BitcoinPoW, and we're gonna drop it right here. This is very typical, guys. This is what I did in previous videos. If you've kept up, this is just what we do. So we're gonna go to folder. BitcoinPoW 1. All right, there we go. Now, actually, you know what I call these are Sullivan senders. So that's going to make my life easier. And I have 3 others. I didn't really use the other 2, so I only had 1 basically. But for my long-term storage concerns, we're going to make the Sullivan Sender 4 so that it's all, you know, it's all organized basically, right? So we're going to start syncing this actually now. And let's see, I got to grab the phrase. So here's how I usually do it, guys. When I'm on a new computer, there we go. So we're going to go here. Oh, okay. So we're going to go here. We're going to click and we're going to click this. Nope, no, we're not. I forgot that we changed the name. Okay, so we're going to copy this phrase right here, right? We're going to go and we're going to type Sullivan sender underscore 4. You type whatever you want for the wallet name. You'll see exactly what it is, right? So we're going to start syncing this wallet, basically, right? It should pop up any moment. Actually, yep. Okay, there we go. So it's running. It's going to have to sync. This is going to take a while. Crazy. It's been 15 weeks since launch. When most people in the future, when they start this wallet up, it's going to have a heck of a lot more history behind it. We are early, guys. That's all I'm going to say. It is a very new project to date. So we got that in the works. If you need any help learning how to do that, I would suggest checking out this updated BitcoinPoW mining tutorial. It's going to show you basically how I move the files around. You see, I'm going to go into length about it at about the 1 minute and 10 mark up to, let's see, about the 4 minute and 20-second mark. So that'll show you how to start the wallet up if you couldn't follow along with what I just did. I don't really think it's that bad, but it does take a little getting used to. So there is that. So now that the wallet is syncing, it's calculating basically. If we hit a bottleneck and I gotta pause the video recording while this downloads, I will. So don't worry, we're not gonna just sit there and let it download forever. So I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go to downloads. Here we are. There's the BitcoinPoW Fuel 312.8, the one we just did. We're gonna delete the zip file, so we don't need it anymore. BitcoinPoW D, we're gonna put in BitcoinPoW Fuel, right? And it's gonna be inside the data directory. I would prefer, let's see how we do this. Hold on. I'm gonna have to pull this up because the daemon can be set to run this wallet. Right. We set the daemon to run this wallet. A daemon is basically a wallet instance, but you almost can see what it's doing and like the raw code of how it's syncing, sending transactions, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like more of a crypto nerds kind of version of the wallet. You need it running as a strong node in order to use BitcoinPoW Fuel. So this means in the future, as the network gets larger, you might need, if they don't enable pruning somehow in the daemon, I'm not sure if you can or if you can't. You probably can, but if you cannot, then you would need external storage or large capacity internal storage to host one of these daemons. But we'll get into that in the future as it comes. So we're gonna be here. Let's see what I was trying to do. Hold on. So we got the POW-D. I'm gonna have to reroute this daemon to open the wallet that I'm currently creating right here. Wow, look at it go. It's moving pretty fast. With internal storage as opposed to external storage, I guess this stuff can move pretty quick. Anyway, let's see, guys. So what I'm thinking, sorry about the mic. I was just bopping it around a little bit. I'm gonna look up the command for this. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we are gonna make a text document. I'm just watching this from a different angle because I'm basically looking at my other laptop while I do this. So I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna see what this says. Okay, cool. So it's not that complex of a phrase either to put in for this command. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this. Let's see. So we're gonna call it run daemon Sullivan sender 4. You can call this whatever you want, guys, but that's just what I choose. So Bitcoin hyphen POW. This is for the daemon to run. Remember, exe. And you're gonna put 1 space, 2 dashes. Okay, data directory equals. If you put it on your C drive like I did, just follow along. C : / BTCW / Sullivan _sender _4. That's all there is to it, guys. So that's it. I'm gonna close that. Actually, hold on. You have to save as, right? Now, instead of text document, you have to call it all files. And then you're going to go .bat, okay, for file name. That makes it a bat file. You're going to see. Watch. So there you go. You see how it looks different? That's a bat file. So now you can delete this one that we just created. There's no need for that anymore. See how the wallet's doing. We're 9 weeks behind. I don't know if that makes sense because 15 weeks was way back over here. So, we'll see. We're only at January 18th, though. That's pretty interesting that the loading bar shows as it does. However, it is what it is. Okay. So that's that. Now, next, we are going to get the BitcoinPoW Fuel bat file running. So this one's a little harder. Let's see. It's really not that bad though, guys. They have it on the GitHub. I'm like too lazy to go get it. So we're gonna type BitcoinPoW Fuel.exe space -wallet directory C semicolon /BTCW /Sullivan _sender _4. Okay. Space conf target 6 dash space dash. Okay, estimated fee multiplier 1.0 space dash max fee. Let's look at the max fee. Well, it's not gonna matter really. I'll adjust it in a little bit. So 15,000. Okay, space dash. Okay, actually, this shouldn't have a space on it. These are command lines. So I didn't see that. Okay, now we're gonna go down. Max fee 15,000. Okay, min fee rate space 0 space dash forced fee rate 15,150. How about that? You want it a little higher than the max fee, I think. I don't know why. Okay, dash UTXO target. Say 10,000. Okay. Address path. Go C. Oh, use the wrong slash. It's on a different part of the keyboard. Slash addresses.txt. Whoop. All right. R CIP 27. This IP address should be the same too, guys. Same with the RPC port. And that is going to be 8989. RPC username. Oh, user. RPC password. Password. Okay, that's it. Now, this is part of it. However, we have to get the addresses put in here too, right? So that's a whole nother story. Let me see if I can get that going on in a moment. So what are we gonna call this? We're gonna call this run Bitcoin POW Fuel Sullivan sender 4. Perfect. Oh, hold on. And there lies the problem. I forget. Save as. We're not going to do a text document. We do all files. We do .bat. That turns it into a bat file. So now we have two. See, we're going to delete this because we don't need it. And delete this because we don't need it. Right? All right. Now, trying to see where the next step is. So I think I'm going to go to my C drive, my other computer. There it is. Okay. So we're going to copy the daemon in here actually too. So copy, go to this PC, whatever storage you're using, BitcoinPoW. I'm going to paste this in here so it can be hosted in this wallet potentially. A lot of it is just like extra. I don't quite have everything perfectly done. It's going to work perfectly. But what I mean when I say I don't have everything perfectly done is that this may not be affecting anything. As long as you have it here, I think you're good. However, I would like it in both areas just so I know it's pulling from whichever spot that it needs. If you're following this guide, you might as well do it the same way I am to know that it works for a fact. Next, I'm going to import my addresses and I'm going to put them in my C drive. They're going to go right here as a text document. And that command that we created before, right? The run daemon, run BitcoinPoW Fuel. The run BitcoinPoW Fuel is going to basically pull from those addresses that we put in the C drive so it knows where to send to. So I'm going to pull those up. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, so we are going to my D drive, which is a flash drive. Get yourself a flash drive. Here's the addresses. Read it and weep, boys. If you want to look this up in the future, you're free to look up these addresses. I guess they are mine, and it is what it is. So, I modified this and I made it 2,580 addresses. Originally, it was only 2,400, but it turns out that if you use 2,580 addresses, it's the easiest way to get the cheapest fee. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get the one with the 2,580. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. As you can see, we now have a document with 2,580 lines. Each line has one address. So you're basically, sorry, I just ate, guys. You're basically gonna get 2,580 addresses generated per wallet. You don't have to do it by hand, guys. If you go to the receive, I'll show you how actually with this one when it's done. It's very simple. You're gonna go to the receive tab. You're going to click generate receiving address. You have to specify that it's legacy for now. They may discover that SegWit is fine too, but I only know about legacy. So I use the legacy addresses. And from there, you're going to basically press create new address. It's going to pop up a window with the new address and you're going to hold the enter button and it's going to spam and it's going to create like hundreds of addresses per minute if you hold your finger on the enter key. After that, you're going to go to, let's see, I think it's window and then receiving addresses. And it's going to pop up the full list of your receiving addresses. You are going to export those. And then when they're exported, you save that CSV file to be opened in Microsoft Excel or a similar application. Once you open that, you're going to select the top cell in the Excel document with the first wallet address in the entire sequence, and you're going to hold your mouse cursor and drag all the way down until you get to line number 2,581 because the addresses start on the second line. So from there, you're going to get 2,580 addresses. You're going to press Control and hold Control and then press X. That's going to cut those addresses From there, you're going to go to a notepad like the one we're looking at right now, and you're going to paste it on the top line, right? And it's going to look exactly like this. That's all there is to it, guys. I can, please request a video tutorial on generating addresses and I'll do it. It's not that hard. It's just, I don't want to make this video too long. And it's really kind of a simple process. If enough of you request that I make a tutorial on how to generate bulk amounts of receiving addresses, I will. It's just not a priority right now. So I'm going to X this out. So it's saved here. We're going to copy because I want to back up here too. We're going to go to this PC, C drive, BitcoinPoW. We're going to paste it right there. That's all there is to it. And now when we run that run BitcoinPoW Fuel, it's going to pull from there. So, let's see. What else do you need to know? Okay, so anytime, that's not going to work because I don't have any links on here saved because I have hardly any browsing history. So I'm going to have to get this. Let's see. What was I pulling up? Oh, yeah, Block Explorer. Okay. When you go to the Block Explorer, crazy how these stats have changed since we started, huh, guys? So predicted next block, see details. You're going to scroll down. Looks like the average fee is about 16,600 right now. It's most of what's going through at the top. So I would put 16,000, I don't know, anywhere from 16,000 to 16,750 for my fee, for my suggested fee. And the way you're going to be able to adjust that, because you want to check this periodically. I'm going to put this link in the video description as well. So let me get that over here. Let me get my computer plugged in too while I'm at it. So hold on. Oh, I didn't get it. That doesn't sound right. Could have swore I got that. Okay, paste. There we go. So I'm going to include that. I'm going to include that in the video description so you guys have it. It's just very easy to get, but either way, it helps to have all the links together when you attempt to run this. So that's that. This link tree has been so useful. I actually created it, guys. I'm not sure if you knew, but in the very beginning, I made this link tree. I found all the logos. It's actually pretty cool to think that it's still open. You guys should really check out the BitcoinPoW Bitcoin Talk thread. I really, it's a piece of history, guys. It's really cool. It's actually how I found this project. So, note to self, right? It's always a good thing to have that kind of resource there. So as I mentioned before, the Microsoft.NET was successfully completed and it's installed. So you can X that out. It'll just run on its own whenever you run BitcoinPoW Fuel. How much longer we got here? About 20 minutes. So I'm gonna have to pause this video once I know that everything's set up properly. Let me see what else we got to do. Okay. Now that's interesting. You want the daemon to run in the right area, like here, which I want it to, so it's not just in a random area in the data directory. Where you're going to type BitcoinPoW Fuel, no, BitcoinPoW daemon Sullivan sender 4. Perfect. Now, what we do, I'm going to have to show you this once it's all synced up. We're gonna have to paste the wallet DAT in here and all its related contents for the daemon to run in the proper place. And that's all I wanted to do. So we're going to wait till this syncs. I'll be back with you guys in a bit. Looks like we got about 20 minutes. Let's see if it's accurate. Probably is because it's the new update. So hopefully by about 11, I'll be back. So we'll talk soon. All right, guys. So you guessed it. The wallet is finally synced up. We're going to create a new wallet. And you guessed it again. We're going to call it Sullivan Sender 4. Now that's going to load. Wow, that was quick. All right. You know what? I'll just show you how to... No. I'll do it later. I'm going to just generate one address for now. And this is going to be what I use as a demo. Oh, wrong tab. Okay, here we go. So I like to make sure this is on legacy, for one reason or another. And then create new receiving address. There we go. I'm going to load this up. once it's confirmed, we're gonna get started with testing out the daemon. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start syncing the daemon now. Let me jot this down. Okay. Right. 1BHCY. 1BHCY. Okay. That's it. And I'm gonna save this so I have it. Okay. All right, guys. Now, you know what? No, never mind. Let's see. So I'm gonna send some stuff here. We're gonna close this for now. We got what we needed, which is the receiving address. We're gonna go back to downloads. We're gonna go to BitcoinPoW Fuel, and we're gonna try to run the daemon. It has to be fully synced before we can start. So let's see how I did with typing that out. There we go. So it's running. Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna allow. Okay. So there we go. So the daemon is running, and oh, look, progress is 1. Perfect. Now you see this. I'm going to stop here. You see where it says progress 1.0? That means it's 100% synced. A lot of the time it'll be 0.9952 whatever, 0.98, 0.85, whatever. It's going to be less than 1. That means it's not fully synced. So what you're going to do is you'll just let this thing run for a while and it'll be all good. So I realize it's not syncing a new instance of the wallet. It is hooked up to the wallet that I just synced. Sometimes it's not fully synced. That's normal. But what I would say is that it should show a high value close to 1 if you just sync to the GUI wallet, which is the wallet that I just had open a moment ago. So we're going to let this run. And I'm going to deposit some BitcoinPoW, maybe 100 coins on this wallet, and we're gonna start the POW Fuel bot. So let's see what we can do. I'll be right back. Okay, now as you can see, it says Sullivan Sender 4, add to wallet. Boom. There's a transaction hash in mempool. So I believe that that was my transaction just coming through. So we're waiting on it to confirm. Here's how you close the daemon properly. So you're gonna hold Control and then press C. And as you can see, it just put up a new prompt. It's releasing the wallet, and then it's going to basically get all the necessary. Sorry about that. I was just looking at another screen in my room. So it's gonna just basically shut down the wallet properly. If you just X out of this, it may basically corrupt the block data that's saved to your computer, and it could require you to resync the entire chain and delete the previous info that you synced, and that can take a while. So it's better to just shut it down properly. So it's going to say right here, terminate batch job, yes or no. You're going to hit Y and then enter, and boom, there it goes. So we're going to go back to this CMD that I had to open the GUI. We're going to press Control C, Control V, and enter. And that is going to open back up our wallet, and it should show, there we go. So it's got 100 coins pending. Once those go through, I will keep this open. So when it says available, and it has at least 3 or 4 blockchain confirmations, from there, I'm going to start sending, and I'm going to close this GUI. I'll do that on camera. And then I'm going to reopen the daemon, and then we're going to open BitcoinPoW Fuel, and it should send to the 2,580 specified addresses. I'll be able to confirm it visually, but it's not on this computer, so it won't be something that's confirmed in the video. You'll just have to take my word for it. It does work. It wouldn't really produce transactions anywhere unless the addresses were valid. So it's really, it is what it is. I think it's fine, really. I'll confirm that I'm receiving them on the computer that's hosting the transactions. But again, do not host BitcoinPoW Fuel on a computer that has sensitive data, mining wallets, storage wallets, anything else for BitcoinPoW. Really, you should only send like 1 to 500 coins at a time to the BitcoinPoW Fuel bot, or any wallet that it has custodial access to. because you just never know. You don't want to risk too much. 500 coins is probably going to be worth a lot someday. And as you guys know, when the price goes up, the fees would theoretically go down. So, um, you know, throwing around 100 or 500 Bitcoin POW might not seem so crazy nowadays, but I'm sure it will be in the future. So, it's just best to keep things in a healthy perspective. This is about $100 worth of coins today, so it's really not a ton. But we've seen it worth up to $1,000 for this much Bitcoin POW. So it definitely varies, and just keep everything in a healthy perspective. If the price is reasonable, the cost in the native coin is going to be relatively high. When the coin's price goes up, or if it goes up, I should say, the fees to generate a transaction are probably going to drop. You're not going to have to spend as much coin. I just thought it was worth mentioning. But anyway, I'm gonna pause the recording for now. I'll be back when this is fully confirmed, and I will show you guys before I close this and before we open the daemon. The last thing I want to mention is that it is nice to keep this open because it will stay on track with the current block height. As you can see, it's up to date. And the daemon will also be up to date if you set everything up properly, as I showed. And if you basically don't give the wallet or the daemon any downtime, it will stay up to date. Let's say you close the wallet, reopen it in an hour, you're going to have to sit there while it syncs. If you just leave it open, leave the computer running, it's running a node effectively. So, it'll keep up with the network. It'll stay up to date, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'll be back, guys. See you in a moment. Okay, guys. So as you can see, we have the 100 Bitcoin POW confirmed in the Sullivan Sender 4 wallet. You can name this wallet whatever you want, guys. If you want to make it streamlined and easy the first time, you can copy everything I did verbatim. But, make your own custom wallet name. As long as you know where to adjust some of the commands that I created, you should be totally fine. I also wanted to mention, if you look at my recent videos, the timestamp is much later in the day, or at least it's around the same time, which wouldn't make sense because how could I be in two places at once? Because this is a new computer, it's not adjusted to my time zone, so it is about 3 hours behind. Something else I wanted to mention was there's a 3% dev fee on BitcoinPoW Fuel, and if we get a lot of community adoption on this, basically that fee is commissioned to Sullivan in the form of transactions. So it will just make your computer push 3% more transactions and deduct from your balance accordingly. Now, for those of you that have a decent amount of momentum in the project, I highly recommend that you use this because it's going to help incentivize the community to grow and develop. When those transactions are running, the fee that Sullivan is basically getting, he's hosting those transactions, and any block that is hit from any of those wallets that are created and receiving transactions through the fee on BitcoinPoW Fuel, he's going to basically put those in the faucet so that new members can get their own transactions, which is going to decentralize the protocol considerably over time. Especially if this becomes a mainstream utility for the project to help people start mining, like how I'm using it. And I mean, I'm BitcoinPoW helper, I'm crypto man, and I'm using it. So it's pretty convenient. It's pretty simple once you get it started and set up. Once you do everything that I basically mentioned earlier in this video, it's very simple. So it's just kind of a pain to get the initial steps in place. But at the same time, it's really not that bad once you get used to it. And if you wanted to do it on multiple computers, you can just watch this video twice and follow along, whatever you want to do. So we have the balance confirmed here. I'm going to X out of this. We're going to have to wait for it to shut down, but I'm on SSD storage on this computer, so it should be relatively fast. There we go. That's really nice, actually. You couldn't imagine with the HDD external what I was dealing with. It was crazy. So we're going to run the daemon again. Hopefully it's just caught right up momentarily. We're going to find out very soon. It's just starting up now. It's pretty crazy how fast it can write all this text. Code is amazing. I'm just starting to learn about code, and I guess I really don't know much at all, but it's pretty awesome to think every application on your computer is running something similar to this. I mean, BitcoinPoW is truly an educational experience for me. So here we go. It's progress is 1. Oh, okay. So we are missing something. We have to create a conf file. Hold on. So let's go back. Let's look at the tutorial. Now we have to look through this. Wait for full sync. Progress 1. Send funds to BitcoinPoW sender wallet. Wait 1 confirmation. Create addresses. Configure and start BitcoinPoW Fuel. Okay. So let's see. We need the confirmation or conf file, configuration file. Now let's see. Config, here we go. Nope, I'm gonna have to find this. All right, let me go into my other computer and just see what I have to do. This won't take long. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, so we're going back. We are going to have to set up a conf file. So let's see. We go to Sullivan Sender 4. We create new text document. Now this is going to be called BitcoinPoW for now. We're going to change that momentarily. We're going to open it up and edit it. So we're going to do RPC user equals user. No spaces here. RPC password. Password. Just checking the spelling, guys. RPC port equals. This is similar to some of the features in that one's the only different one. That's the absolute maximum for this confirmation file or configuration file, whatever you call it. So we're going to save as. Now we're going to have to go for save as type, all files. Now we go Bitcoin-POW .conf. Boom. So there we go. Now that's doing its thing. And we can delete this one because we have the configuration file. Okay. Now there's one more thing we got to do, guys. BTCW daemon. Let me see. Hold up. Okay, so it should make that on its own. Yep, it did. Okay. So we're on the right track, guys. Here's what we do now. Ah. I think it's running out of the same place. I had this set up, however, has not been updated for some time, despite having used it recently. So I think the block data is being synced into the wallet file itself. So we actually may not need this. Worst case, it's in your data directory somewhere, and you can just search Bitcoin-POW, and it'll pull up another location where the wallet may be hosting the data. If you're just trying to get started, it's really not important as long as you have, at least a couple gigabytes of storage on your computer. However, what we're gonna have to do now is we're gonna have to start the wallet up just as a measure of here. Wait, we gotta close this, right? So I just did Control C to close that down, and we're gonna have to authorize the shutdown of the wallet once it's completely loaded. There we go. Y. There we go. Hit enter and you're good. So to basically activate, let me think, to activate the configuration file. Oh, okay. See how it says max fee is set very high? The fees this large could be paid on a single transaction. That warning will come up when you set up the configuration file, and it's all good because it's not going to use that fee level unless it senses that the network has a similar fee. So it's not going to upbid it unless you customize it there. It's not going to bid it up, I should say. So now we've started up the wallet. We're going to shut it down, and that should completely solidify the configuration file that we created here. So that just basically hooks up BitcoinPoW Fuel to this wallet in a more solidified way. I would not attempt to run BitcoinPoW Fuel without this file. So again, you want to edit in Notepad. This is what it's going to look like. You can pause the video and take a look at that. If not, we're going to just move on. So anyway, that's it. Just make sure it's .conf, and it should say right below the cursor right there, conf file, or it should say it right here, as you can see. And it has to be saved under all file types. If you try to save it as a text document, it'll never work. So there's that too. Okay, let's double check. We got all this set up. We got the address list right here, and the code is set up to pull from a file that is called addresses in lowercase letters, just like this. Now I'm going to confirm that I have the right one because I'm hoping that I imported the right one. 2,580 addresses. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. If anyone wants to know how to get this created, just let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to do it on another computer. I just don't see the purpose of doing it on a sending wallet. I'd rather have just one receiving address on there. And I don't want to take the time to sync a whole new wallet just to, it would be better because people are going to use the addresses generating tool or the generating, tutorial for other scripts, other bots, other reasons, maybe even the native console within the GUI wallet itself here. So, basically it's, pointless to do it here. We're going to do it in another video. It's not going to be a long video. Anyway, now we have the wallet completely configured as far as I know. This is somewhat experimental for me because I've only done it a few times. So we're going to run the daemon again, as we did a few moments ago. It should be completely synced up, if I'm not mistaken, especially if a new block height hasn't been reached since we had it open before. So, we'll give this maybe another moment to sync up. I'm not going to pause the recording because I want you guys to see what it looks like, right? How it's behaving when it does configure or when it does sync. But yeah, it should only take a moment. And what we're looking for is where it says progress equals 1.000, something to that effect. So it's basically creating outbound nodes or connections. As you can see, it's connecting to peers on the network. So it's just kind of getting interconnected to the network itself. And wow, yeah, so we got 23 connections already. Normally the GUI can only hold, or the GUI wallet can only hold a capacity of about 10 peers, unless you open to port 8555. I believe that's the number of the port. We have a Telegram alert about it, and basically, if you're working on a network that you're indifferent of in a sense, and if you know the risk of opening to a port, it can potentially increase your throughput for mining and being interconnected to the network. So, it's funny because I'm not sure what the delay is now. I'm hoping it'll just pop up. We're going to just attempt to start this up in a few moments, even if we don't get that confirmation of the progress being over 1. So, it's connecting to peers. Let's see if we can find a progress prompt somewhere here. Doesn't look like it. I think, let's see. You want to make sure that it's not pruning also. Let's see if we can find that. If you have the wallet set not to prune, you should be totally fine. And you know how you can check that is if you look at this. It's an easy way to check if you don't want to open the wallet back up, right? So we're going to go to the PC. We're going to BitcoinPoW. We're going to go to properties. 20.9 gigabytes. We're almost 3 months in. This is a perfect kind of number. You want a decent amount of storage being occupied. So we are not pruning, guys, which is awesome. Now let's check on this. Any update? Not yet. Okay, hold on. We're going to look for where it says progress. I don't want to delay too much. However, it's important to make sure that the wallet is synced before you run. If not, it's just going to give you an error. It's not going to mess anything up really. However, I like doing it right, This is really strange though. I think because it was already synced, it's not showing the progress log. So look, it's going to show slightly different, but just look for that progress equals 1.0. We're going to give this a shot. So without further ado, let's start up BitcoinPoW Fuel. Moment we've all been waiting for. Let's see what it says. Huh. Argument not found. Please set red arguments, then restart. Okay. Let's give that a look. Let's see. All right, max fee rate and UTXO's target. Okay. Let's give it a look. Okay. I'm just verifying with the version that Sullivan provided so that I know that I'm doing everything proper. You see how it's important to watch the whole video because you might get hit with this error if you don't. So let's see. Okay. Max fee rate, right? And we are looking at UTXO's target. So there is an S here. Simple grammatical errors, right? Now we're all set. We're going to save, file, save, X out of that, minimize this. Let's give it another shot. There we go. See? Found 2,580 addresses, sent 2,580 UTXOs. Oh, geez. I didn't set the fee higher. I think it's probably higher. Hold on. It should work. 17,000 is the new norm. So my transactions might not confirm for a while, actually, if ever. Let me close this and restart it. Let's see what we can do. One moment. Actually, you see, it says error transaction has too long of a mempool chain, height 15925. So I know that I can get this to start. I know that I can get it to work. You see how it spent 13.73 BitcoinPoW to send 2,580 transactions. The balance currently is 86.26 BitcoinPoW. So I need to work out this issue with Sullivan. We need to figure it out. I'll try to ask him. If not, you guys please ask him and get back to me. Let me know, and I will update another video, or I'll re-upload. I'd probably prefer to just make an updated one to avoid this error because you know what? Hold on a sec. Let's see if we can modify. Give me one moment. I know what has worked in the past is 8,000. And we're going to increase this to 17,200. Force fee rate is 17,250. And the UTXO target, we're going to set to 8,000 because that's what I did in the past and it's worked. So we'll see if it can send more. It may not even push a single send because the throughput of the wallet is fairly low. See, so I got the error. Transaction has too long of a mempool chain. So we'll look into this. Sullivan, if you're watching this video, I'm going to be asking you about this. So hopefully we can do an update. However, guys, we got all the commands registered. We got this string to work. It printed and showed us the results. It located the addresses. It found the addresses. It's hooked up to the right wallet that has a balance loaded on it. Overall, I consider this a great victory. If you guys have any further questions, maybe don't bother Sullivan privately, but you could message him in the group chat and see if he's willing to help with this one step. If you know how to ask the question short, succinct, and properly, politely, and he'll probably help you as well. But you know, I had it set up this way and it was working for a while. So I think that here's the thing: too long of a mempool chain. Let's check the mempool. Let's see the size of the freaking thing. It's probably huge right now. So yeah, 63,000 transactions stuck in the mempool. I'll bet you a ton of them are batch transactions too. So this thing is absolutely chock full. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a part of the problem. We're gonna be able to double check with Sullivan shortly. Um, you know, so here's another type of issue: coin selection algorithm knapsack. Huh? I wonder if that's considered the algorithm of. Wonder if that's the actual algorithm name for BitcoinPoW. That'd be very interesting. So we'll have to look into this too. I'm curious what this means. So Sullivan, if you're watching this, let us know. And yeah. So geez. Okay. You see, I just X'd out the daemon too. So, you know, normally it won't cause a problem. Normally it'll shut down properly on its own, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it the right way first. Because it's not good to leave on that note. We're gonna let this do its thing for a moment. Here we go. Control C. So it's shutting down. This is the right way to shut it down. You see it dumped the mempool, did all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Terminate job, Y or N. We're gonna do Y and then hit enter. There we go. All right, guys. So look, that is the BitcoinPoW Fuel tutorial. I know you might not be super satisfied that you can't pump through 200,000 transactions in the next day. However, we're going to look into it. I'm going to see what I can do. I will provide an update in the next several days. However, if you send a batch of transactions, once those get confirmed, I know and I can tell you that you'll be able to send another wave. So this should get you started, to say the least, to maybe send 30,000 a day if you're patient, diligent, and watch over it. However, we could definitely move faster than that. I've seen this thing pump out transactions like crazy when it first came out with the new wallet integration and some other things, including a stuffed mempool on the network itself. We may be running into complications that will get resolved in due time. And it might be a simple fix, so I don't know. In the interest of keeping this video as short as possible, I'm going to close it up here. Guys, if you like what you're seeing and you appreciate my help for the project, please like, comment, subscribe, even donate. I'm going to have my donation address and Richard Ryan's donation address in the description below. It really, really helps us to stay on track and just be doing the right thing for the project. If we do have people supporting us, whether it's through hopping in the community chat and consulting people based on what you've learned from these videos and from our discussions in the PowCast, or if you don't have the time or energy to do that, you can contribute directly by maybe buying some BitcoinPoW off ZegX or any of our other centralized exchanges, and consider donating a portion of that to us if you believe in what we're doing and you appreciate what we're doing, because ultimately we are the entity at the moment that is bringing a positive community sentiment and an educational platform to BitcoinPoW. So, guys, we appreciate your consideration of that. And we hope you have a good rest of your day. All right. Thanks.